out tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you coming to party with Little
Let me know if
Treasury
you can
and
hear
Grand
Joe.
Seiko. That is, of course, first and foremost. So, cheers, or as they say in Japan, kanpai.
Kanpai.
All right, now that I got my favorite part out of the way. I'm going to give you a brief overview or a brief introduction to Grand Seiko. So this is a brand that is relatively new to the U.S. market. I want to make sure if you don't know something about Grand Seiko that you learn a little bit tonight. And then I'm going to introduce
Can you hear Joe
all of our
okay?
new
Let me know.
products that you're seeing today for the first time. So obviously, Grand Seiko is a Japanese brand. We are from Japan, and when most people think of Japan, they think of Tokyo. We do have a very nice headquarters there.
Have him hold this also.
Distribution is based in Tokyo. However, we do not make any watches in Tokyo. All of our mechanical watches, the 9S mechanical, are made in the city of Morioka, in the Iwate prefecture of Japan, in a studio, a very small studio called Sbg C230 Watch
That's why I
Studio.
handed him that mic.
As I mentioned, this specializes in traditional mechanical watchmaking, something we have experience with for over 100 years. So all of our Grand Seiko 9S mechanical calibers are made by Sbg Studio. And I hope you guys remember the names of these studios. They're very important if you want to know something about Grand Seiko. Heading back to central Japan, in the Nagano prefecture, in the city of Shiojiri, we make all of our 9F quartz calibers, the best quartz that you can buy, right? Traditionally made by hand, unlike any other quartz in the industry today. We also make a very unique animal called spring drive. Right? This is marrying the best of both worlds in watchmaking, mechanical and quartz. These are made in the Shinshu watch studio, not to be confused with Shizukuishi. So in Nagano, both of these regions of Japan, very mountainous, very beautiful, very clean air, very little dust. This is why we make our watches in the mountains. And you see that in a lot of our watches in terms of their design. Grand Seiko is a completely vertically integrated manufacturer. This means that we do all the research and development for all of our movements, all of our cases, all of our dials, everything you can think of in the watch is done by us. Right? Some of our movements, as an example, like spring drive, were nearly 30 years before we could put them into continuous production. Everything done by us. Right? We manufacture all the components that go into our watches. And this is not limited to the movement. We also make our own cases, our own dials, our own hands. So we are a true manufacturer in that sense as well. As we should, all the assembly is done in our own studios, as I just mentioned, Shizukuishi and the Shinshu Watch Studio. All assembled by hand, but one watchmaker builds each movement from the ground up at a time. Not an assembly line. There are not multiple sets of hands in your movement. Just one. A very specialized technician, in fact. Finally, all the testing. Our very, very strict standard of Grand Seiko is done all in-house. All of our testing, whether it's accuracy, whether it's water resistance, magnetic resistance, all of this stuff is done in-house in our own facilities. We make 3 different movements that I mentioned, right? We make quartz, which does not look like what you would expect in a quartz, right? Most quartz are made of plastic. They're made by robots. This is made of metal, and they are made by hand. Right? This is engineered to last multiple lifetimes, just like a mechanical watch. In fact, it's engineered to be more like a mechanical watch than it is a quartz almost. These are accurate within 10 seconds per year. Right? And in some instances, you'll see here, Steve has some great pieces that are accurate within 5 seconds per year. Our mechanical watches are all tested to high accuracy, exceeding that of the chronometer standard, within 3 to 5 seconds a day, where chronometer standard is -4 to +6. We also do other things, such as a longer test, testing in more positions. This comes with every Grand Seiko mechanical watch, this very strict test we call the Grand Seiko standard. And then spring drive, the mechanical watch that has the accuracy of your average quartz, which is far more accurate than most mechanical watches. Spring drive is rated within 15 seconds per month accuracy. This is the most accurate mechanically powered watch in the world. Right? That's equivalent to 1 second per day, just in case. Less than 1 second per day. We now have, in the last several years, we have expanded our portfolio in watchmaking. We now have more Grand Seiko calibers than ever. We have 5 different quartz, we have 6 different spring drives, and we have 8 different mechanical timepieces, or movements, I should say. We make our own dials in-house. We make our own markers in-house. All of these things we do ourselves, right? And crafted by hand, by craftsmen, not machines. Our hands, our cases. You may have heard the term Zaratsu in your research on Grand Seiko. This is Zaratsu, right? This is a hand polishing process. It has to be done by hand by very skilled men and women in our studios, very few, using a hard abrasive spinning wheel in order to create a perfect mirror surface. This is a very labor-intensive process, and if you manage to touch one of our crisp edges on one of our watches to that wheel, you have ruined it, and now you start over. So that's why we only use the best, right? This is the end result. This is a true distortion-free mirror finish on a Grand Seiko. This is something that's very difficult to replicate, right? And if you take your watch, you put it down on a magazine, and you see the text reflecting in the case of your watch, try it on maybe something else, on another watch that you own, another part of your collection, and see how it compares. I encourage that, because it's not quite the same. Everyone kind of knows Grand Seiko for the Snowflake, right? This is the icon. It pays tribute to central Japan in the Nagano Prefecture, as I mentioned before. This is one of our most iconic Grand Seikos, and this year you got to see, and today, actually, some of the first to see in the country, some new tributes to the snowfall in central Japan. I want to bring up a couple of very special models that we have here today. Limited edition for the US market, the first exclusive in the USA. I saw a couple of wrists already rocking the Sbg A387, the Kirazuri dial. Very special timepiece, now sold out. We also made 50 pieces in gold, which we're starting to receive our final allocations on, right? We also made 20 pieces in platinum. These two are some of the most difficult cases to produce because of this Zaratsu polishing and the very special case design, which is very flat and has a lot of crisp edges. So these pieces are very unique in that sense. The dials are inspired by what they call Kirazuri. Right? This is a Japanese painting technique where they use mica powder to create a sparkling effect in the background of what they call ukiyo-e woodblock Japanese print. So this technique is reflected in our dials as this really brilliant sparkling effect, right? The platinum model has an even more special dial than the gold or the stainless steel that reflects light at multiple angles. I highly suggest you take a look while you're here tonight. We also introduced this year, just in February, right before Basel, a new series of hand-wound dress calibers that are featured in a new design, right? An entirely new case design, entirely new design of sapphire crystal. 2 of these models are using hand-painted urushi lacquer from the northern end of Japan where we make our mechanical watches, right from the neighboring town of Joboji, it's called. So this is Joboji urushi lacquer with what they call takamaki-e for the Grand Seiko logo, as well as the markers and numerals. Right? I hope you all can remember that aspect of the of this dial name, right? Joboji Urushi with Takamaki-e. Okay. So these numbers and logo are all painted by hand by artisan Ishu Tamura. This is combining either platinum dust with lacquer or 24-karat gold dust, and all done by hand. We also made a special model limited to only 1,500 pieces in stainless steel, expressing Mount Iwate, which if you're in the northern end of Japan making our 9S mechanical calibers, you look out the window, you see Mount Iwate, right? Largest mountain in northern Japan. This is a very symbolic part of the region. So we have 2 limited editions in rose gold, 150 pieces only being made in each. 1,500 pieces in stainless steel with the Mount Iwate dial. Also, you'll see a sample over there today of a brand new model coming out in August with a silver radial finish dial in 18-karat yellow gold. This will be continuing production. At Baselworld, we launched some really cool new things. The 20th anniversary of the very first commercially available spring drives. That is this year. The very first spring drive introduced to the world was limited only to the Japanese market and was manually wound only. Most people familiar with spring drive realize that they're vast majority automatic. So we introduced a new caliber called the 9R31. It has a 3-day power reserve and very, very slim. We're featuring it in a new Snowflake in an 18-karat yellow gold elegance design case. This is the same case style as you're seeing on the mechanical pieces. We're also introducing a stainless steel limited edition with a sunburst pattern dial inspired by the light coming through the trees in central Japan. This is going to be limited to 700 pieces worldwide. The yellow gold Snowflake will be continuing production, though limited in nature. These are some of the artist sketches of these new Elegance Collection pieces. The hands are hand curved by artisans, not done by machine. An entirely new hand and index design as well. We're also introducing in the Elegance Collection a new Snowflake in stainless steel. It's going to have a sky blue dial reminiscent of the sky behind the mountains in central Japan, in Nagano. This is going to be coming out in June and will be continuing production. Same price as the regular Snowflake as well. The symbol of Grand Seiko is the lion, right? So we came up with a new sports design this year inspired by the lion. So everything from the case design down to the dial, everything has influence from the lion. We're going to be making an 18-karat gold as well as 2 limited editions in high-intensity titanium, our special alloy of titanium. A spring drive chronograph with a brown dial and then a 3-hand in an olive green, let's say, dial. These are going to be limited to 500 pieces each in titanium with one of the most complex case designs we have done in Grand Seiko. A lot of flat surfaces and a lot of crisp edges. Very unique and very labor intensive to do Zaratsu polishing on. As I mentioned, all the angles, all inspired by the lion. Even the dial we're calling the lion's mane dial. You can see influence by the mane of the lion as it spreads over to the dial there. 100 pieces will be made in rose gold for the world and 500 on the titanium models. Just recently, after Basel, we announced a special collaboration. In fact, one of the first automotive collaborations for Grand Seiko ever. The 20th anniversary of Spring Drive meets the 50th anniversary of the Nissan GTR, right? Two of the most high performance, highest quality, craftsman type automotive, let's say, cars and watches, right? They're the best things you can have from Japan. So the 50th anniversary GTR, we're coming out with a special limited edition of only 200 pieces in our high intensity in titanium and ceramic hybrid case design. On the back, you'll see the highest performance caliber. We have the 9R96, which is accurate instead of the 15 seconds a month of normal spring drive, down to 10 seconds per month. And we'll have the GTR logo and a gold medallion on the rotor. This is a new year of calibers, right? We introduced new calibers for spring drive. We introduced new calibers in the mechanical series, and we're introducing our first automatic ladies calibers as well. The 9S27 caliber, miniaturized, but still with the quality of Grand Seiko. And of course, for the ladies, we even added a special thing that most likely you'll never see, our escape wheel designed in the shape of a 5-petal flower. We're doing 3 pieces in gold, 1 in white, 1 in yellow, and 1 in rose, with diamond bezels and diamond markers. And then we're going to do 2 pieces in steel, 1 with a linen dial and diamond markers, and then 1 with a mother of pearl dial. This is the core part of the assortment, but one of our biggest announcements this year was a very special new release from our Micro Artist Studio. The Micro Artist Studio specializes in handcrafted techniques that you will not necessarily find from other manufacturers in Japan. Once again, we're going back to Nagano, utilizing hand tools, right? This looks very difficult to make watches with. But this is how they do it in the Micro Artist Studio. Everything is crafted and polished by hand in very traditional old school methods of watchmaking. The design of the edges of every bridge inside the back of our watch, instead of using your more typical 45-degree angle, all of our edges are convex. And this is done by using a hand file to shape the edge of the bridge. They then use a special type of gentian wood to polish the edges. They actually use 3 different grades of diamond paste. They polish this essentially 3 times after they've achieved the shape by using 3 different types of hand files. So a lot of work goes into these pieces. They're very special and very unique and very limited by nature. This is the desk where they do the finishing. And up in the corner you can see a gentleman by the name of Philippe Dufour. He is their mentor. He is their sensei. Right? They look up to him tremendously. He influenced them. He taught them. So some of these pieces that you're seeing from the Micro Artist Studio actually pay tribute to Mr. Dufour. Right? This is one of the few watchmakers in the Micro Artist Studio who does all the assembly from the ground up of only select models. One of the founders of the Micro Artist Studio is actually featured in the book 12 Faces of Time by Elizabeth Dorr. He's alongside the names of Philippe Dufour, F.P. Journe, Vianney Halter, and some of the best in watchmaking. Right? So Kenji Shiohara, a watchmaker from the Micro Artist Studio, featured in a book talking about the 12 best watchmakers in the world, essentially. A very huge honor. You'll see special models here tonight in Creedor, right? The H2, meaning wisdom in Japanese. The dial is porcelain, hand-painted by one sole artisan in our studio. Look at it under a loupe. It'll be hard to believe that it's painted by hand. This has been on multiple websites by some very prestigious names in the watch industry, saying the best movement finishing that you can buy for $50,000. This is definitely something to see while you're here because they are so limited. We also in the Micro Artist Studio make a minute repeater, which has over 660 components with gongs made by a 52nd generation blacksmith. They're made to mimic the wind chimes that he makes in Japan. These minute repeaters are some of the most complex but some of the most beautifully sounding chiming watches in the industry. Not only do we make a minute repeater, we also make a sonore, which chimes the hours as they pass. The sonore has 3 different modes, so you don't have to listen every hour. But what's neat about it is that instead of the wind chime gongs, they use a replica of an Orin bell. So these are chiming watches that chime beautiful sounds of Japan that you would not find maybe in some other brand. The beautiful thing about our chiming watches is there is no background noise. There is no tick-tock in the escapement because they are spring drive. Everything is unidirectional and smooth. Even the governor that controls the striking of the hammers is completely silent because it spins at 300 rotations a second and produces no noise. The governor in most chiming watches produces more or less a buzzing noise, right? So this is a very nice addition, so you only hear the pure chiming of our watches. We also have here today our 8-day, the first Grand Seiko from the Micro Artist Studio. The platinum model inspired by diamond dust, a natural phenomenon that occurs, of course, in central Japan in Nagano where they make. And then the Stardust dial, inspired, of course, by the starry sky during the winter in Nagano as well. The movement acts as a map of central Japan. The beveled edge at the top depicts Mount Fuji. The power reserve indicator is showing you Lake Suwa in relation to Mount Fuji. The city lights of Suwa are depicted in the jewels and blued screws. And then right under the word days, you see the hand-engraved logo of the Micro Artist Studio, which is giving you the location. So right now, you're, let's say, standing at the Micro Artist Studio, looking at Mount Fuji in the distance. This is what you see in our movement. Very special tribute to Japan. Now you're going to see the newest creation from the Micro Artist Studio. Sound really doesn't matter because they're talking in Japanese. But you'll be able to read the subtitles. So we have introduced the ultimate Snowflake. It's going to be incredibly limited in production due to the craftsmanship of the artisans in the micro artist studio. We're only going to be making 30 pieces for the world. We introduced a new caliber based on the similar design of the H2, which, as I mentioned before, was considered by some to be the best movement finishing you can buy for $50,000. We have actually increased the work that goes into it by adding an inward angle. We also increased the duration by developing a new system that houses 2 mainsprings in 1 barrel. Now, as opposed to the H2 with a 60-hour power reserve, the new 9R02 caliber featured in Grand Seiko is achieving 84 hours, so about 3.5 days duration in an ultra-slim design. The 9R02 caliber is going to be limited by nature. Like I said, the hand-carved Snowflake is going to be only 30 pieces. So here is the case as it's being carved. When you look at the sample tonight, you'll be able to see how fine these little grooves are in the carving. It's made to mimic the Snowflake dial. And the logo is actually carved into the dial of the Snowflake. Here you can see the artisan adding the final touches to the carving in the dial. As I mentioned, this is going to be limited to 30 pieces worldwide. It's going to be the most expensive Grand Seiko, of course, ever produced at $76,000. But good news, if you're not one of those lucky 30, we're going to be making a continuous model, though very limited in nature, which is going to have the smooth Zaratsu finished case. The other has a Zaratsu finished case, but they do it before the hand carving. All right, so this will show off the Zaratsu, and it will also have one of the finest textures you've seen in a Grand Seiko dial, and also have all the carvings in the dial as well. This is a major reduction in size. This is a huge achievement in watchmaking. So this new caliber is something very special. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you very much for your time, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Cheers.
Do you want to take any questions? Yep.
Questions? Anybody? Going once, going twice.
How many GTRs?
GTRs, we're going to be making 200 worldwide. That's
Very
it.
good. Thank you, John.
Man, I got an easy job tonight.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
Are we still on? Are we on?
We're going to keep streaming. Let's bring the mics. Let's figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I'll take the mic. Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
I put this one on manual and just the exposure, and I've got to put it over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Why don't we try to figure out what's going on with the
Is it totally screwed up?
Yeah. What I did, I switched I went back to the tape out on here and ran that into the end. It didn't seem to change anything. They were saying that it was okay, but the audio seemed like to me like we're getting like room audio. Like we're not getting these mics. But these mics are the only thing hooked up. So I don't get where to be getting the audio.
I heard it myself.
Now this thing went to sleep. Can you break this up and get us on the video app? I'm going to check the video app and see if there's a setting in there that's
Okay.
testing. 1, 2, testing. 1, 2, 1, 2. Test. See, this indicator here is showing that like this mic is hot.
I know.
And yet, in reality, it doesn't seem to be getting out on air. So let's check the Video Pro. Go into the Video Pro app. Just go ahead and connect. Okay, and we probably are going to have to stop it, but we can restart it. To go into the settings, right? I'm starting it back. Okay, we're live again. All right. Because I don't think there's anything else we can do in here that I can think of. So let's just really take a hard look at what's going on here.
Remember, we had a mic in here at one point. Mic in, remember? That worked. That was the.
Do you still have that cable?
Yeah, probably.
Exactly. You want to sit down and I give you some eat? Call you later.
I'm still busy. Thank you.
We're still playing around, folks. We're trying to figure out what's going on. I'm going to try something. We're going to try hooking up different from here to here. And when I do, maybe you can ask them in the chat. Are you still in the chat? If they hear any difference. Maybe we'll know. Maybe you'll hear a difference. He's getting a different cable. I swear we had this, he had it hooked up differently. Looks like it.
It looks like you got it?
Looks like it. Looks like it's on my wrist. So there you go. Absolutely. And it works. It fits right underneath that shirt cuff, see? My diver would not do that, right? So it does the job. And I like that dark blue. Very, very dark blue.
It's a very nice face.
Yeah.
Almost like
Yeah.
People are saying it's working well now. Sounds good.
It's got to be just room noise, though. I mean, that's what I'm trying to figure out why these mics, they don't seem to be picking up. It seems to be.
Hey, Mark.
talk 2 minutes.
Yeah, a little bit. I've still got to help him.
All right.
So, but where's your watch?
So I don't.
I should have my guy test it.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go. I want to leave.
I understand. What do you think?
What?
You have a good
Testing.
time?
1, 2. Testing. 1, 2. Ask him. I'm doing a test on the handheld mic right now. Ask him in the chat, how does this sound? Testing the handheld mic. I've got it 3 inches away from my mouth. Is that isolated? Is it strong on my signal? Testing. 1, 2.
Take whatever he needs from here, and then I'll call you on the phone.
Do you want to leave this here?
So
Do I have to leave it?
You don't have.
testing 1, 2. I'm using the handheld right now.
Like,
Testing 1, 2.
No, what I'm saying is,
testing
there
1,
anything you
2.
need?
well, he wants
Testing 1, 2.
The person
I
wants
don't even
to
know what
do
mic
a deal
2
with me. Wants
is.
it tested.
Okay,
Put it on
thank
the
you.
timer and see the amplitude and the beat.
You want to give me a receipt for it?
Sure. Okay.
Let me say this. Then before here, what I have in mind. I know what I want for this, and you were within the range, so that's not a problem.
Right.
You said 8 to 10 or 8 to 5, whatever.
8 to 10, something.
I know what I want, but I want to get. That. It's not a limited edition. The one with the fabric band, the yellow. You know, the one you had the gray. You sold it tonight. The quartz one.
Yes.
It's $3,000.
Yes.
All right. But I want to get that piece, stainless steel. I asked the rep, and he said, I would have to purchase. I want the high gloss band from the more expensive watch. He said you'd have to order the.
Which watch are we talking about? Let me go behind and I'll. What's going on?
Some make these dials where there's differences in
Which one, Mark?
of like 0.02 millimeters. Like it's almost nothing. So yeah, very special technique to manufacture our dials.
She doesn't like just the band. She wants to like
We only
the
made
band like
50 in rose, and we made
He said I just have to order it.
Right.
Yeah, the platinum is amazing too. The dial is even better on the platinum. Yeah, we made this on the other side. Actually, it's a little.
This is the deal.
Sorry, I had a gentleman waiting for me for a minute. I'll come back to you.
You're okay with this because I know what I want. I didn't. I want to buy this one. The gray, the one you sold tonight. The regular one. The black and the yellow.
Yeah.
So if you will sell me those for $25.
I don't think they let me put it on my list like that.
I don't sell these for 25 off to any. I don't sell these for 25 off to anybody. Ever. I'm sorry. I can't.
Okay, testing 1, 2.
I know.
Folks,
But
how does
sorry,
this
I really
sound
can't.
now? What we've got now is Steve's mic is still hot. Where's Steve?
So, and it just, we are not a store you walk in and you grab your Rolex and everything turns. Slow turn business. I've got to get a decent margin. I entertain people like crazy.
Steve, I understand.
Yeah.
I spoke to you, and I'm not here because I don't want to get.
I know.
Okay, I killed Steve's mic, so now we've got this handheld mic is the only mic that's hot right now. So I'm testing the handheld mic only. Let me know, folks, what you think. What does that sound like now? Testing the handheld mic only. Testing the handheld mic only. Testing. Let me know how that sounds now. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing the handheld mic. Testing. Let me know how that sounds now. Okay. Let me know if we've got audio, and it's the handheld mic only hot right now. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 1, 2. It's only the handheld mic hot. Hot, hot, hot right now. Testing. Can you hear? Can you check and see if you can hear it?
Sounds excellent, all good.
It's the handheld mic only. And how's the level? Let us know how the level is. Much better, all good, fine, all good. Let's roll. Now it sounds excellent. Oh, well, yeah, well, there we go. The handheld mic is always the savior, I guess. Testing 1, 2. Testing the handheld mic. Testing 1, 2. 1, 2. All right. So, let's get Steve over here. Let's look at this watch. The heck is the watch? Now the camera's dead. Jeez. We got... All right. So folks, we got a dead camera now. We got audio, but we got a dead camera. See if this Fuji, I'm going to get Steve to get rid of these Fujis. and get a real camera. What'd they say now? Okay. All right. So, can you see if you can gather up Steve? Just say excuse me and see if he's available to show a watch over here. We're going to get the Stevester in the action here. All right. A lot of action going on here, folks. A lot of action. Let's spin this camera around. Spin this camera around so you can see all the action here, folks. What? He's going to come? All right, so I don't know what this camera is focused on. It's not focused on me. It's focused on the background. I guess that's okay. Okay. What, okay, let's, is that on manual focus right now? Focus it on me real quick, and then, here, I'll take this. Just focus that camera on me. You got it on manual focus, right? Here, it should have a switch right on the front here, manual focus. No, I don't know where the focus switch is on that. Okay. I'm out of focus. I'm real soft on focus. The focus is on the background, is on the people way back there. No, no, a little more. Hold it right there, right there. Perfect. Don't touch it. Okay, we're good. All right, now we're going to use this mic. For some reason, it's the only mic that's working. So, and this camera is dead, so you got to turn this camera on. Then I'll have a camera shot here. Okay, Steve's coming up with something here. He's coming up with something. He's going to get it in focus. And then that is camera. Let's see what that is. That is number one, camera one. He's messing with the camera mode now. This is not in focus?
I don't know. It says,
Well, now it should be in focus, though. Ask him now. Yeah, ask him if I'm in focus right now. What? Okay. Yeah, I know. Ask him if it's in focus. If I'm in focus. Testing, 1, 2. Am I in focus? That's the question. That's the question here. We're trying to get this here set up so we can do a close-up shot. See here. All right, there's a GS. Hey, that's black and white. Is the camera in black and white or the watch in black and white? Whole thing's in black and white. Hey, that's a pretty cool shot, though. I like that black and white shot. Do you have, oh, you got it. This is a micro, right? Why don't we just hook up my camera? You want to hook up mine? Or is that going to be okay?
Should be.
All right. Well, there we go. Black and white. The focus is soft, Steve. Here, you got it in manual focus mode? Is it in manual? All right, let me focus it because I got the screen right here. It's not, the focus is doing nothing. Yeah, it's not doing anything. Okay. Let's do this. Let's just. Okay. All right. Now it's in focus, but it's still black and white. So maybe we should just go ahead and hook up my camera. What do you think? Let's grab mine. That's right there. Let me slip by you. Here, why don't you come over here and entertain them? We'll go back to the wide shot. Camera 2 is the
Okay.
wide and 1's the front.
Yep, here we are. We have the usual work in progress going on. Thank you for your patience. Trying to run an event here and a TV show. See if I can get some of the commentary. Okay. All right. Craig's getting his camera set up. I'm sure it'll be much better than mine. How do you all enjoy the talk on Grand Seiko, I wonder? Joe is quite an authority on these watches and very interesting fellow. Okay, that's your number camera, what?
1, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is one of the novelties this year that Joe talked about. It's the Sbg C230. The Sbg C403, limited edition of 500, high intensity titanium, and very rakish case form, very geometric, extremely interesting, and it's got the lion mane dial. This thing is retailing for $10,600. Next up. Okay, this is the Sbg C230, the chronograph limited edition of 500 pieces. And this also is the high intensity titanium case and bracelets, 44.5 millimeters. And it's going to be available in June. We have a couple incoming. And they retail for $12,900. And again, the lion mane dial. It's a very impressive piece and surprisingly light for the parent mass.
Is that titanium?
It is, high intensity titanium. So not as light as a snowflake, but not as heavy as you may think.
Okay. Next
So I have one other piece coming up. Okay, this is a beauty. This is the Sbg C230, and just 100 of these are being made. This is available June 1st. We have one incoming. It's 18 karat gold, and it retails for $42,000. Extremely impressive piece. And it's got a reddish sort of mahogany dial and black bezel. So those are
Okay.
Sorry.
It's okay, we're good. Okay, hopefully Steve's going to get some more units. Let's see, stunning, that's a stunner. These dark GS dials are awesome. Why aren't they working? Good question. Some of these watches actually are mock-ups, are pre-production units. Some of them don't even have a movement in them. They're that fresh off the boat, folks. Fresh off the boat. Let me readjust this camera a little bit. I don't like all that ceiling in the shop. That might be better. Let's see here. That's the way I like it. I don't like a lot of ceiling in the shot, folks. We don't need ceiling. We need you to see what's going on here in this place. Can we see the clasps? Okay, we're going to show them some clasps coming up here. Clasps, yeah, I just mentioned it. Clasp. We'll show them as we go. We'll start showing them. Yep. We'll start showing some clasps. That's what we'll do. Okay. Yeah, and as long as it looks real red, then that means it's in focus. Yeah, we're good. So let's go to camera one again. Oh, that is a gorgeous piece. Steve, what's that?
That is a limited edition ceramic and high intensity titanium piece. And that is commemorative for the Nissan 50th anniversary of the
That race car.
Yes, that race car.
There you go. Well, there you go. Joe talked about that.
Yeah.
So that is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous, I say.
And that is going to come in at, it's very limited. Sport collection, 200 pieces.
200 pieces?
Yeah.
Are you getting one?
Probably not.
You don't know yet. Okay, if you want Steve to get you one, get in touch with Steve. There's the clasp. That's got a deployant clasp. It's a little bit out of focus. Get it closer to the camera. Yeah, there we go. Crystal clear. It's a deployant clasp, the typical clasp. Gorgeous piece, though. I'll tell you what, gorgeous. All right. This place is jumping, by the way. A lot of folks checking out, a lot of watches. A lot of action going on here at Little Treasury. Little Treasury Jewelers. And there's my GMT, folks, on wrist. Oh, I got to point that way. There you go. See how that can slip right underneath the shirt cuff? That's what I was looking for, nice and trim. Absolutely. Whoa, look at that beauty.
This is the Sbg 407.
That's a beaut.
Snowflake.
That's a beauty. That's a new type of a snowflake. A little bit of a blue tint there.
Okay.
And I heard tell that they can get a bracelet for that watch. It is available. Is that true?
I haven't heard that. So
Okay.
you might have heard better than I.
Okay.
And that is steel, not titanium. That's the,
This one is steel?
yeah.
Okay. Good looking watch. There's a clasp for you, folks. No joke. These watches are no joke. No joke. These watches are well-made pieces, folks. Let's see what we got going on here next.
Okay, Sbg C230.
All righty. There we go. Look at that piece. Woo! That's just a good-looking watch there. Now, is this one a prototype? Is this a prototype watch?
This is
Wow, look at that movement. Ooh,
spring drive.
look at that.
Spring drive manual.
And that's nice and trim, very, very slim. That's the one that's about 10 mils thick, right? That's gorgeous.
Very deeply featured
And I'm being asked if the bracelet is comfortable on my watch. So far, so good. I've only been wearing it a couple of hours, but yes, so far it's very comfortable. So far, so good. Let's see, Stunner, the GTR model, that's right. Manual wind spring drive, Carlos in the house. Beautiful movement, congrats on the new watch. Well, thank you. I thought, okay, black on black. How much is the one you just showed us? We got a question. How much was the one you just showed? The thin one. Is that the one that's steel?
Yeah. Yes, that is steel.
That's about $7 or $8 grand, right? That's a gorgeous watch. Let's show that one more time. That is a gorgeous watch, folks. Coming back for an encore. Look at that. That is gorgeous, folks. I'm telling you it is. Let me move the angle on that a little bit so you can just see. Look how nice, how that case shape is, how trim that watch is. Trying to get it in focus here so you can see a little bit about that. And then the back, of course. That is just, can you say stunning for a dress watch? That'd be very comfortable on wrist, folks. And a deployant clasp too. All right. All right, what else do you have, Steve?
I've got a couple of ladies.
Only Grand Seiko makes you say steel is so last century. Some of the steel ones are good, though. They make some good steel stuff. Here's some ladies' stuff. Don't want to leave the ladies out.
Yeah, we haven't carried the ladies before.
And he has not carried them before. This one's got diamonds on the dial, is that right?
It does. These are in the $7,000 range.
In the $7,000 range. There's one for the ladies with the diamonds.
20s, but I'm just showing you the steel pieces. It's a very nice little piece as well.
And that one's with no diamonds. And what's the price on this one?
I think it's $6,000. I don't have the list at hand again.
And again, the same attention to detail that we've come to expect. And this is just one for the ladies. So that is fantastic. Fantastic. And one thing I like about this camera, when you focus, it zooms in, so they can get that zoom look too.
Right.
Very versatile. Any others we want to show while we're here? And there's Linda. Linda in the house. All right. Absolutely. We've got Steve's wide angle lens at work right now. That's the 14 to 24. That's a heck of a lens. That's one of the best lenses Nikon ever made, that 14 to 24. Very wide angle, but very little distortion. So you get a really wide angle, but look at that shot we're getting right there. It's a nice shot.
Fight customers in the store for the watches. So
Absolutely. The customers want the watches, folks.
back off a little bit.
So you all have to step up. If you all want to watch, they're selling out of here quick. So step up. Let's see who else we can bring in here.
Where are our wrench gang? Have you introduced them?
There's a couple of them over here. Let's get the wrench gang over here. And Wagner left, right?
He left.
Okay.
Okay, so Dave Williams is here.
Yeah, come on in. Come on in. Come on in. We got the wrench gang coming on in the house. We're going to have to put them in charge of audio next time. That's for sure. The audio technicians really dropped the ball on this one. So slide over there a little bit. Okay, are we all in the shot? Yeah, we're all in the shot. That 14 mil, that gets us all in the shot. So we're going to share the mic here. So what do you think about the watches today?
I thought they're phenomenal. For me personally, there were some that are a little too large for my wrist size, but they're excellently made and really good. I really like the one you got, Craig. That's a winner. It's a winner.
Diver. I mean,
No,
GMT.
not the diver. The GMT SBGN 005.
Nice and trim on the wrist. You see that?
That's a winner.
Right underneath the dress cuff, no problem at all.
Yep.
And what's nice is it still has a screw-down crown.
Oh.
A lot of their thinner, smaller quartz watches, 9F movement watches, do not have a screw-down crown. This one does.
Is that 100 or 200 meter?
100 meter.
100 meter. That's still pretty
The
good.
important thing is it's got that
Screw-down
screw-down crown.
crown, yeah.
Keep it nice and clean, nice and sealed up. And since it's so accurate, you only have to unscrew that when the date changes.
Right.
That's the only time you have to unscrew
Oh,
that.
right. For sure.
Or, of course, when we have the time change twice a year.
Right.
It's the only time I have to do it on my spring drive also. It's
Okay.
within a second a month, so it's been insanely accurate too.
Good. All right.
Yeah.
Let me pass it to Durr.
Yourself, I don't know if they
Yeah, Dave Williams from Las Vegas.
Yep. Der Stiefel from Detroit. Yeah. No, I think my favorite watches so far. I love the divers. I'm a big diver guy. But as far as the new product, I really like the blue Snowflake a lot.
Well,
Yeah, that's a pretty
here
nice
for you.
watch. Yeah. Now is that slightly smaller than the regular Snowflake by like a millimeter, I
It
think.
may well be. It feels like it has a slightly different form factor.
Yeah, I think
Of
like
course, it doesn't have a bracelet on it, so it does feel different. And
Right.
Steel.
Now,
Yep.
what is that watch made of?
Steel.
It's steel.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, I mean the blue dial on that is just really incredible. It's a beautiful watch.
All right. Well, there you go.
So,
So what else we got going on here tonight?
well, I've got to take the boys in the back room, and we're going to show them some things that are under embargo.
Okay.
But we're going to swear them
Cool,
to
the cool
secrecy.
pieces, yeah.
Gang gets to look at that.
They do.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
And-
Insider thing.
And not everyone is going to have that.
So if we tell you, we'd have to kill you. See.
right.
So you know how it goes.
They have to kill you before you leave.
Well, that's true. And I'd like to get out alive. So.
So
All
let's-
right.
Let's
All
go
right.
get that.
Go ahead. Go ahead. And we'll follow you. They're going to look at the embargoed units.
French gang, hold down the fort.
Yeah.
Hold down the fort.
Thanks, guys.
Go ahead. Go ahead. And I'm. So, folks, did you all see anything nice?
Too many things.
What do you think? What did you see that you really liked?
It's the hand hammered platinum spring drive. That's it. I never thought I'd get to ever touch one, and now I did.
Well, is that one for sale?
No, it's a prototype.
I think Steve might have one coming in, though. You might want to get your name down.
I might need to sell a couple kidneys.
All right, there you go. Platinum stunner. Absolutely. Good job. So that gentleman's looking at a really upscale unit. Let's see if we're still. Let's see if we're still live streaming. I haven't even checked the stream or anything lately. Let me know what you think. Is the audio any better now with just this one mic going on? Let's see what we can buy now. People are starting to buy. Wrench gang in the house. Let me know what the audio is doing now, folks. What the audio is doing. Then we will know. We will have the answer to that. Durr's wearing wrenches with a wrench tie. Yeah, I guess he is. R. Wags is in the chat. R. Wags is in motion. He's probably getting on an airplane. He's probably getting on a jet airplane. Where's the redhead? She left. We should have kept her here. Audio's fine. Make a sale, Craig. Go case to case. Audio is good. Okay. Problem is we don't have the wireless camera here yet. He's going to get a wireless camera. We got to get him set up with some Sony cameras, and we got to get this audio situation sorted out. So that's what we got to do for future broadcasts. Get all this sorted out. Let me see what other shot we can get here. Let me get another shot set up. Let's take this camera. Let's get creative here, folks. What is it? Oh, I like the colors. Got another camera shot coming your way, folks. Another camera shot. How's that? That's another camera shot for you. Now let's rig up this other camera with another shot. See what we can figure out here for the other camera. Let me see here. We've got to figure something out. Yeah, let's spin it on around. Let's go 85 mil over here. Let's go over here. All right, we're going to rig up some camera shots here, folks. That's what we're doing here. So we got one, we got camera two, we got camera three. See, that's got Gary over there. Gary over there in action. Gary making things happen, doing deals. Let's see what else we can rig up here. We should have another camera. We're going to get this squared away one way or the other. Yeah, about time, right? About time we get that squared away. Let's see, look at this power cable over here to my other Sony. So this Sony has power. Let's go here. There we go. We got power to that camera, so it's going to run and run and run. Oh shoot! The chat went dead on me, folks. The chat went dead on me, and I don't have the password to get in. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's what happens with live shows, folks. Live shows, you never know what's going to happen. See, there's me. That's nothing. That's the Grand Seiko booth. That's where all the real action's happening over there. That's the Grand Seiko area. And then I should be over here to get away from that. Let's see what this one is. So I can't monitor the chat right now. I'm just kind of letting you guys kind of hang out with us here with these different camera shots. And that's about what I can do right for now. Steve is in the back showing the Wrench Gang some embargoed watches. So that's what he's doing. And I'm going to go over here and get some more food. Get some more food to eat. It looks good. The food is fantastic. See here. And a bit of shrimp. That shrimp's about the size of a baby's arm. Big piece of shrimp there. Get a couple of these sandwiches. Or I'll get a little shish kebab here. Get a little bit of everything. Got to get a napkin. Okay, get myself a napkin here. Get over here. So we got another plate of food here. And let's go back to the wide. Let's go to that shot. This is the food I've got here to eat. So you can see there, I'm going to have a little bit of that. And let's cut back to the Grand Seiko action over yonder there.
Actually, like the original brown. Oh yeah. I like that one. I've always liked that one. That's sweet. Did you buy it here? Did you meet the guys? You want a different one? You want the one that you bought? Just put it back on the shelf? Oh, they did? I know where he lives. He's got one out in the store. You got a used stuff? My wife's monitoring. Yeah. One of these? Yeah, a fixer-upper one. You got one of these? Second-hand missing?
One thing that was bad about it is getting taken out front. It's the casing that they did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's cased to the front. Yeah, I didn't want to pay. I didn't break a lot. I wouldn't deal with it. You know you need. No, I just noticed this. Yeah. I just remember when they made the Astron ceramic blue and white. It looked like a hairdresser's wash. It was nuts. Yeah, it was an Astron. Seiko Astron. And it was nuts. I just opened up 3 new accounts. So. Oh, it's exactly like the other. That's exactly the way the Astron was. But it was white and blue. Yeah, it was, like I said, it was. You had to work like.
Exactly.
So all the dials have little GSs in it, right? That's special.
So they had on there about a week.
The one that's supposed to look like something to do with a pistol. Isn't it?
Oh, yeah, I've seen it.
It was way too much. Yeah, it was way too much. Oh no.
Very nice meeting you. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yes.
It was on the website. There was a reason.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Sure.
Hold it right here. Right in front of that lens. Right in the center. Yep. Give me a moment here. All right. Perfect. I'm gonna go. Let me sit by you because I'm gonna switch now. Get back there. Hold it from that lens.
Okay.
There's another one over here which is like
This is a Crador. Oh, wow. Yeah, and turn it just a little bit so it doesn't get that reflection. And a little further away. And get in the center of the lens. Yep, yeah, and just move it till it gets in focus. Right there. Oh, look at that, folks. Look at that. That's amazing. Okay, now, let me focus it. Get a little closer. Let me see if I can focus it in. Right there. Hold it right there. Oh, wow. Look at that, folks. Look at that. That's a special treat there. Yeah, now let's see the other side of it. Look at that. Look at that Crador, folks. There you go. That's what you got here at Little Treasury. You got little gems like that popping in for a show like this. Oh, wow. Okay. There you go.
Okay.
That is quite a treat.
Show and tell outlet.
That's quite a treat. That is a beauty. Now, do you wear that very often?
No, I've worn it maybe a couple of times.
That's just really one that you just keep to take out and enjoy from time to time.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a beautiful watch, though. Very nice. And, of course, you've got a Crador on wrist here. Yep. Now, is that one platinum?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a platinum. Hold it up a little bit so that camera can see it. Yeah. Platinum Crador. And then you've got an 18-karat gold spring drive, 8-drave spring drive. That's manual wind, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you wind it up, it goes 8 days, it's a spring drive. Well, there you go. Amazing. Amazing timepieces. Wow. I'm going to finish my lunch here, and then we're going to figure out from Steve what's next. Let me see if we're still live. Yeah, we're still live. I can't see the comments, though, because the laptop went to sleep. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You were just live on the TV. I need to go tell Steve he needs to unlock this laptop so that I can see the chat. I can't see the chat. I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure.
Is Steve in here? Mm-hmm. I'm going into the embargo room. All right, we got a live mic here. Just 1 second. Have you finished showing? Because the laptop is asleep. I can't look at the chat. I can't tell what people are. The iPad. Can you? Yeah. We've been showing some more watches. We just showed this. The gentleman in the blue blazer there, his Cradors. We just showed those on air. We showed his beautiful watches. There you go. Oh, wow. That is stunning. Whoa. That is heavy, dude. I'll tell you what, can you come over here and show it?
Absolutely.
Show it. Come on over. Come on over. All right. We got this gentleman's going to show his watch real quick, Steve. Come on in. Come on in. Bring that watch over here. You got to slip by here. It's sort of tight. Sort of tight. Sort of tight. Bring it right here in front of this camera. Okay. And what happened to the focus on this camera?
Which camera is it?
That one there. What happened? Oh, it's this camera. Okay. All right. So hold it right here. Hold it right here. We want a close up right here, and get it closer. Right in the center of that lens. Good. Let me focus it right in on it. Okay. Let's cut to that camera. Okay. Whoa, there's another stunner, folks. That's the type of thing that's here in the house today. That is a ceramic. Is it ceramic and titanium? Ceramic and titanium. That white dial is stunning. Okay, come on over here. Let's talk about this watch. How'd you end up with that watch?
It was a long search, and I got to say first, if you're thinking about buying a Grand Seiko, you got to come to Little Treasury. This is the only place that you would want to go to. The service is top notch. The staff is nothing but helpful. Steve's always helped us out a ton. And I just ended up stumbling across it in the wild. This is one that's pretty hard to find. But to get a chance to see not just the pieces from Basel, but other things that you're not going to see out in the wild, this is where to go. This is where to go.
And that one wears nice and comfortable.
Oh, it's absolutely comfortable. Just in looking at the different watches, when I finally saw that and saw the dial, I had known that was something I wanted for a number of years. And it was like, oh, got to have it. And the movement, and just with what Grand Seiko's done, in addition to the finishing, the movement is just fantastic. So it's just like, I love the brand, and I'm glad we're lucky in the fact that to have an ambassador local enough to drive, it's fantastic.
What happened to, no, this camera right here, what happened to that shot? That is camera, no, is it still turned on? Now it's off. Okay, I guess that is that camera. Okay, it is that camera. Okay, so it's okay.
Thanks for putting this on.
Yeah, well, we had all kinds of technical problems with the audio and so forth, but we're trying to work it all out. He just set all this up.
Really?
And he didn't have any time to do any testing. So this is kind of like the maiden voyage.
Hey,
maiden voyage of the Titanic. So, but the good thing about this one is it can sync and we'll bring it right back up again. So there you go. Let's see, Carlos, that has better readability than Daytona. I guess it does. Checks in the mail, somebody's sending a check. I find it hard to read those loomed hands on a white dial. It looked good to me. Let me see.
Let me go ahead and give it the blast so you can put it back up.
Let me see here.
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's great.
Oh, yeah, no.
Oh, it's great. No,
It looks fantastic.
Hit it. Will it pick it up? Actually, no, we don't have a shade there. No, just if you cup around it, it's.
Oh, yeah, well, I know Seiko's loom is no joke. Yeah.
It's no joke.
And that, when I saw pictures of that watch, I thought, nah, but in person, it really looks fantastic.
If you run it like right there, like this takes the hit before the time.
Yeah, so it won't scratch.
I wear it all the time, in the fact that
Let me see what the clasp looks like underneath.
It's great. It's got
That looks good. Yeah.
Give it a little love.
Now on this one, is the clasp itself titanium as well? Because on my diver it's steel.
This one's titanium.
That's titanium. Okay.
Yeah, they did it.
And it's holding up pretty good.
Yeah, 2 triggers.
Yeah.
The bit on there has been good.
Yes.
Between Joe and Steve, that's the whole reason we got in the car. We drove all the way over from Ashburn. Mm-hmm. We were in the car for about 3 hours to get over here. Oh, wow. So yeah, it was pretty tough.
Well, that clasp, flip it over one more time. See, it has almost no scratches on it. See, my diver is all scratched up because it's stainless.
Oh.
The clasp. The rest of it's titanium, right? And the titanium has held up a lot better than the stainless did. That proves right there that the titanium is tough stuff. Yeah. And this watch is another example. I don't see any damage at all on that watch.
No, I mean with the ceramic, I was always a fan of the ceramic watches just because I live on planes, so I was like, if there's one that goes with me a lot of times, this is it. So
now, how long have you had that one?
Not too long. A couple months.
Couple months. Okay.
Stops, yeah. Oh no. What month is it? Is it?
It's May.
It's May. So I want to say February.
Yeah.
January, February. Yeah. Somewhere around there. So just this year, I'm just glad to find pieces out in the wild every once in a while.
Yeah.
This is the biggest collection you'll find, I think.
Little Treasury. Yep. All right. Well, thank you. Watch your step on the way out here.
Thanks for these guys are awesome. Hey,
yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Take care. Okay. Let's see. Checks in the mail. That's it. I find it hard. Okay. So no new comments there. I repointed some of these cameras. Let's see. This one was. There's the 85. Okay, so there's that shot. Whose back is that? That's his back. Okay, and then the 85 was pointed tighter. Which one is 85? I keep forgetting here. 85, is it that one? Yeah, it must be that one. And that is focused on, why don't you come over here, Steve? That's focused on all the way over to the Grand Seiko boutique. So this gentleman that's in the foreground is a little bit out of focus, but it was focused on Gary, that shot. So if you had a clean shot to Gary, right, it would have him, and that was kind of a cool shot when there wasn't anybody standing there. But yeah, we're going to have to do some more troubleshooting to figure out what is going on with this audio. The good news is, I think once you get it set right, it's going to work. Yeah. But what I've done now is I've got the tape out going in here. The one thing we might want to try is the tape out going into the mic in and see if that's any better. That should not be, but really though, Steve, that should not be the way to do it. That's not technically the best way to do it. It should go line in to line in.
Offline, so we're not
irritating
the world.
Yeah. So, let's see. Wags drank all the whiskey. Yeah, well, he got some whiskey. Joe Kirk's a man on the move. Absolutely. Steve, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing my Sbg C230.
You want to do a close-up?
Yeah. Where am I going to do it? Up here?
Yeah, but we're going to have to focus on it. Yeah, hold it right there. Let me focus on that puppy, and then I'll switch to it once I get, okay, there it is. And there it is. Okay, so there's Steve's puppy. And he's got some kind of a real sophisticated leather brand there on it. You stay centered on that lens. Yeah, there we go. NATO. A NATO, custom-made NATO. Cordovan, shell Cordovan, there you go. That's a stunner. That's an unusual stunner. Okay, that's good for that. That's good for that puppy. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to wrap it up. Craig, tell us about you. There's nothing to tell. I got the GMT on wrist right now. All right, and I'll be doing an extensive review. I'll be doing an extensive, very comfortable on wrist. It fits underneath the shirt, which is the litmus test. See how thin that is? See how thin that puppy is? So yeah, absolutely. And somebody says a Russian watch. No, we don't have a Russian one right now. I guess we're going to wrap it up. We got 41 people watching.
Oh wow!
So everybody subscribe and click the bell, click the notification bell, and we're going to do some experimenting. We're going to try to get this whole situation here, the audio and the cameras and everything settled down and working. And there's going to be some cool stuff.
I don't know how we can do that.
Craig and Steve, could you please show us some more watches? Maybe take us over to the boutique.
The only way to do that is on my cell phone. Skype and
Yeah, but we don't have that hooked up yet. We'll have to do it at our next show. The closest we can get is if we can get the camera up higher. Let's see here. How much slack do we have in this cable here? Yeah, but this is that the wide angle, or is that it's mine? Well, that doesn't do us any good. We need a wide angle. So, but let's do this. This is about the right field of view that we want. So let's just lift this camera up and give them a down angle shot at it. Okay, so first of all, I got to focus this. Okay, that's close enough. Now let me see. Okay. Now, how much we got? You can go up a couple feet. You can go up a bit. So we're gonna. What you're gonna do?
put it up on the count.
It's unexpected. The white is better than expected. It suffers from the panda. Giveaways.
Can you see on the back? Okay, so, all right, now we got to focus. Hey, that's a good shot, Steve. Now we got to focus it. Steve, I need your height. You need to move the focus a little bit. See the focus ring? Just move it a little bit. I'll tell you when. Keep moving it. Maybe the other way. Still out of focus. Oh, wait. No. Oh, back the other way. Keep going. It's out of focus. Still out of focus. No, go back the other way, I guess. Go back the other way. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. You're getting there. Keep going. Oh, wait. A little bit more. Yeah, we're not getting it. I don't know why. Why we can't get that in focus. Take it down and focus it.
Thank you. Came a little late.
Forever to get out. Well, I did leave later. Did you go to Boston?
Yeah. A lot less crowded and just more relaxed.
Well, that's as close as you're going to get to the Grand Seiko boutique right now. That's about as close as you're going to get. Let's get the other camera trained on it, and then we might be able to switch to that camera. Let's see here, camera. That's not a bad shot of the boutique. That's about as good as we can get right there for the boutique. The Grand Seiko boutique. Little Treasury. That's about as close as we can get. All right. Let's see here. That exposure is a little bit hot. Let me adjust the exposure. Yeah. Put that, neutralize that exposure. And let me put it on F8. There, put on F8, get a little more in focus. At 85 mil lens, F8 and don't be late. That's what they say. So that's what you got. You got the Grand Seiko boutique in the background there. So we can kill this other camera.
Number two, you're not going to get the peacock at all.
Steve, I'm taking this one down.
Yeah.
The other one's a better shot. The grinder got out of the way.
All right, so we're going to wind it up.
Okay, so any other questions before we wrap this puppy up? The GS Lion is staying put. David Williams checking out the GS. David Williams in the house. David is going to get the credit card. Carlos is giving us a play-by-play. David is getting ready to lock and load. So there you go. We got a grinder just went right in front of the camera. And that's how that works. All right. This has been a Mid-Atlantic TV production. We're going to get this production situation sorted out at some point. So that's what we're going to do. We need to make sure that we get these microphone systems set up right. Are you going to post photos of all the GS in the house? Great job. I'll see if I can get photos of all of them. Hopefully we can do that. Let's see what else is going on. That's about it. All right, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap this puppy up. Why can't I get that wide shot? Did that camera go to sleep? It went to sleep on me. He's got to get cameras that don't go to sleep. The only camera that's working is my camera. Jeez. What an operation. All right, folks. Hit subscribe, hit the bell, hit subscribe, hit the bell. And we're going to wrap this puppy up right now, I believe. Let me find it. Guess I stop it over here. Stop, start, stop. See how I can